Somebody say amen. Today, I want to talk to you about a force that lives inside of every man, every woman, every child who refuses to stay down. I'm talking about resilience, the power to rise when the world tries to push you under, the power to stand when the storms of life rage around you. You see, life will knock you down. Life will try to break you, try to silence your dreams, try to tell you enough is enough. But God, oh yes, but God, He put a fire in your spirit that says, you will get back up. You will rise again. You will bounce back stronger than before. Today, we're going to explore what it means to embrace that power, to face adversity, to endure the trial, and to walk out of the storm with your head held high and your spirit unshaken. Because resilience is not just surviving, it's thriving. And when you discover the power of resilience, you discover the power to transform your life. Adversity is inevitable. That is a truth none of us can escape. Life is not a straight path paved with ease and comfort. Life is a journey filled with valleys as deep as the mountains are high. And there will come moments, yes, moments, when the storms come crashing down around you. There will be times when the winds of circumstance howl against your very soul, and the rains of disappointment seem unending. Adversity is not a question of if, but when. It is not a matter of choice, but of certainty. And in those moments, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel small, to feel powerless. But here is the revelation that can change everything. While adversity is inevitable, defeat is optional. Think about that. Adversity is something that will find you. It does not ask permission to enter your life. It does not care how prepared you are, how strong you think you are, or how much you've planned. It shows up unannounced in many forms. Sometimes it comes as a loss, a job that ends unexpectedly, a relationship that fractures, a dream that seems to crumble before your eyes. Other times, it comes in the form of failure, when the work you poured your heart into doesn't yield the results you hoped for. And still other times, it comes in the form of pain, illness, betrayal, or circumstance that is entirely beyond your control. Adversity is relentless, but so is your capacity to rise. And here is the truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. You have a choice. You may not choose the adversity, but you always have the power to choose your response. You may not be able to control the storms that rage around you, but you can control whether you let the storm define you or whether you define the storm. Defeat is not written in the circumstances. Defeat is not written in the hand you have been dealt. Defeat only exists when you accept it, when you resign yourself to the belief that you cannot overcome. But when you embrace resilience, when you decide to rise despite the pain, despite the fear, despite the doubt, defeat becomes nothing more than a temporary visitor, an obstacle to be overcome, a lesson to be learned, a step on the journey to victory. Consider the great figures of history, those who have left their mark on the world. Do you think they were spared adversity? Absolutely not. Every leader, every innovator, every champion faced trials that threatened to crush them. Abraham Lincoln, a man who led a nation through civil war, endured failure after failure in his political career before finally achieving the presidency. Oprah Winfrey, a woman whose name is synonymous with success and influence, faced poverty, abuse, and rejection early in life. Yet, They refused to let adversity write their story. They understood that while the storm came to challenge them, it did not have the power to defeat them unless they allowed it. They chose resilience. They chose persistence. They chose to rise. And that is the heart of what I want you to understand today. Adversity will come, but it does not have to stay. You may stumble, you may fall, but that is not defeat. Defeat is only when you lie there and say, I cannot. Adversity is the pressure that tests the quality of your character. It is the weight that measures the strength of your spirit. It is the fire that forges the steel of your determination. And if you let it, if you refuse to yield, if you rise each time you are knocked down, you will discover a power within yourself that is unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. The question you must ask yourself is not whether adversity will come. It will. The question is, when it comes, will you let it defeat you, or will you rise? Will you allow fear, doubt, and despair to dictate your future? Or will you harness the challenge, turn it into fuel, and move forward with courage, with faith, with relentless determination? Every setback you face is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a comeback. Every disappointment is not a signal to quit. It is an invitation to grow stronger, to dig deeper, to reach higher. You see, resilience is not simply about enduring. It is about thriving in spite of adversity. It is about recognizing that life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. It is about understanding that the trials you face are shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Adversity is the teacher, and you, my friend, are the student. Every challenge, every struggle, every difficulty is a lesson in strength, a lesson in perseverance, a lesson in faith. And when you embrace that lesson, when you rise after every fall, when you refuse to be defeated, you unlock the true power that has always lived inside you. So remember, this: adversity is inevitable, but defeat is optional. The storms will come, the challenges will come, the pain will come, but so will your power to rise. So will your courage to stand. So will your capacity to overcome. Life will test you. It will push you. It will try you. But it will never define you unless you let it. And when you choose to rise, when you choose resilience, when you choose to say, I will not be defeated, you send a message not only to the world, but to yourself, that you are stronger than any circumstance, braver than any fear, and more powerful than any storm. And that, my friends, is the essence of true victory. The victory that comes not from avoiding adversity, but from refusing to be defeated by it. Rise and rise again, because the power to overcome is already in you. The choice to be defeated is not. Resilience is not something we are born with fully formed. It is not a gift we receive at birth, carefully wrapped and handed to us on a silver platter. No, resilience is forged in the fires of challenge. It is strengthened in the crucible of adversity. It is built when we refuse to turn away from the difficulties that life places in our path. You see, resilience grows when we face challenges head-on. It does not grow in comfort. It does not grow in ease. It does not grow in the absence of struggle. The human spirit has a remarkable capacity to expand, to stretch, to become stronger when it is tested. And yet so many of us spend our lives trying to avoid what is hard, what is uncomfortable, what is demanding, We shy away from the very things that have the power to make us unshakable. Challenges are not enemies. They are teachers. They are the trainers, the coaches, the mentors that sculpt our character and shape our destiny. Every obstacle, every difficulty, every moment that threatens to overwhelm us is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to build a deeper, more unyielding strength that cannot be taken from us. When we face challenges head on, we are saying to the world, to ourselves, and to God, I refuse to be defined by fear. I refuse to be limited by circumstance. I refuse to shrink in the face of what is hard. That is the moment resilience begins to grow. The first time you stand firm when everything inside you is screaming to run, that is the moment a seed of resilience is planted. The next time you meet difficulty with courage, the seed grows roots. The next time you endure hardship and refuse to give up, it stretches toward the sun, it strengthens, it flourishes. Each challenge you face, each trial you endure, each setback you overcome adds another layer of strength, another brick in the foundation of your inner fortitude. And here is the truth many fail to see: the greater the challenge, the greater the growth. Life does not hand out the deepest lessons in comfort. It hands them out in adversity. The weight of the storm determines the strength of the survivor. Those who face life's trials directly, who refuse to shrink or run, who meet adversity with determination and courage, develop a resilience that is unbreakable, that cannot be shaken by circumstance, that stands firm even when the winds of misfortune blow with full force. There is power in confronting challenges head-on. There is wisdom in refusing to turn away. There is freedom in understanding that you are stronger than the obstacles that stand before you. Challenges expose the cracks in our character, but they also give us the chance to repair, to strengthen, to reinforce. Challenges teach us patience, persistence, and perseverance. They reveal the depths of our courage and the strength of our faith. They demand that we dig deeper than we ever thought possible, that we reach inside ourselves and discover reserves of energy, determination, and resolve that we did not know existed. When we avoid challenges, we avoid growth. When we run from difficulty, we deny ourselves the opportunity to discover the power that lies within us. But when we face challenges head-on, we awaken something eternal inside our spirit. We awaken the knowledge that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. We awaken the courage to try again, the tenacity to push forward, the determination to rise, no matter how many times we are knocked down. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced obstacles, has faced trials, has faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. And yet they succeeded, not because they were spared the hard moments, but because they met them directly, because they refused to be defeated by them, because they understood that resilience is not a passive trait, it is an active choice. When you take life on, when you confront the problems, when you refuse to shrink back in fear, you are growing resilience in real time. You are building a foundation that cannot be shaken, a spirit that cannot be broken, a heart that cannot be hardened against hope. Life will test you. It will challenge you. It will place obstacles in your path that seem impossible to overcome. But each time you stand firm, each time you confront the difficulty instead of avoiding it, each time you persevere despite exhaustion, doubt, and fear, resilience grows within you. It grows silently at first, then steadily, then powerfully. It becomes a force that defines who you are, that equips you to handle whatever comes next, that allows you to face life with confidence, courage, and faith. So do not run from challenges. Do not shrink from the hard moments. Do not wish away the trials. Face them. Meet them head on. Fight for your growth. Fight for your strength. Fight for the resilience that is waiting to be born in you. The road will be hard. The path will be steep. And the journey will test you in ways you cannot yet imagine. But each step you take into the challenge, each obstacle you face with courage, each trial you endure with faith, adds to the strength of your spirit. Resilience grows when we face challenges head on, and the greater the challenge, the greater the reward. Stand firm. Keep moving. Refuse to yield. Confront the storms. Embrace the difficulties. Meet life head on, and you will discover a power inside you that is unstoppable, unbreakable, and eternal. Setbacks are not the end of the story. That is a truth too many people fail to see. When life pushes us down, when the doors we thought were open slam in our faces, when our plans unravel and our dreams seem to slip through our fingers, it is easy to feel defeated. It is easy to feel hopeless. It is easy to believe that the moment is final, that the failure is permanent, that the setback has the power to define us. But let me tell you something. Setbacks are not punishments. Setbacks are setups. They are the universe, life, God, whatever you choose to call it, rearranging circumstances, positioning you for something greater, something stronger, something more powerful than you could achieve without them. Every setback, no matter how painful, no matter how devastating, carries within it the seeds of a comeback. And the sooner we understand that truth, the sooner we can rise from our falls with purpose, with courage, with determination, and with faith. You see, setbacks are part of life. They are inevitable. They are unavoidable. Every person who has achieved anything of significance has faced them. Every story of triumph, every tale of victory, every narrative of greatness includes chapters of struggle, of disappointment, of failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not the absence of setbacks. It is the ability to see the setback as a setup. It is the ability to recognize that the moment of defeat is also the moment of preparation, that the challenge we face is also an opportunity, that the roadblock is also a bridge to something greater. When we embrace this truth, we shift our perspective. We begin to see adversity not as a wall that blocks us, but as a doorway that invites us to grow, to learn, to rise. Let me be clear, a setback is not easy. It can hurt. It can shake you to your core. It can make you question your abilities, your purpose, your worth. It can make the nights longer, the days heavier, and the journey more exhausting. But it is precisely in those moments of discomfort that the opportunity for a comeback is born. The pain is the fertilizer. The difficulty is the pressure. The failure is the refining fire that prepares you for the next stage. A setback is not the end of your story. It is the preparation for the part of your story that will be remembered, celebrated, and revered. Think about the people who have left their mark on history, who have changed the world, who have achieved greatness. Do you think they did so without setbacks? Absolutely not. Thomas Edison, the man credited with inventing the light bulb, failed thousands of times before he succeeded. Each failed experiment was not a defeat. It was a lesson, a setup for the moment when everything finally clicked. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection and hardships early in her career. Yet each setback positioned her to rise higher than she ever imagined. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team, yet that very disappointment fueled his determination, his resilience, his drive to become the best. These setbacks were not the end. They were setups. They were the catalysts for comebacks that defined their legacies. And that, my friends, is what I want you to hear today. Every setback you face is temporary, and every setback you face has a purpose. It is easy to focus on the pain, to dwell on the disappointment, to let the fear of failure paralyze you. But the truth is that the setback is only as powerful as the meaning you give it. If you choose to see it as the end, then it will be the end. If you choose to see it as a setup, then it becomes the beginning of your comeback. The choice is yours. You can allow life's obstacles to defeat you, or you can use them as the springboard to rise higher than you ever thought possible. A comeback is born in the heart of adversity. It is cultivated in the soil of struggle. It is strengthened through patience, perseverance, and faith. When you face a setback, the first thing you must do is refuse to accept it as permanent. Refuse to let it define your story. Refuse to let it steal your hope, your joy, your vision, or your purpose. Take the setback, examine it, learn from it, grow from it, and then use it as the launching pad for the next chapter of your life. Every challenge you encounter carries with it a lesson, and every lesson carries with it the power to propel you forward. Setbacks are also reminders of our strength. They test our character, our resilience, and our determination. They reveal who we are at the core, what we value most, and how much we are willing to fight for our dreams. Each time you face a setback and refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the obstacle, braver than the fear, and more capable than the challenge. The comeback is not just about reaching the destination. It is about discovering the depth of your courage, the magnitude of your persistence, and the power of your spirit. And here is the ultimate truth. Setbacks do not happen to destroy you. They happen to develop you. They are not punishments. They are preparations. They are not failures. They are invitations. Every setback positions you to rise with more wisdom, more strength, more clarity, and more determination. They are the push that moves you from where you are to where you are meant to be. They are the moments that demand your courage, test your faith, and challenge your perseverance. And when you meet that moment with determination and resolve, you discover that the comeback you feared would never come is already on its way, waiting for you to rise and claim it. So, do not fear setbacks. Do not run from them. Do not allow them to paralyze you with doubt or despair. Face them, embrace them, learn from them, and let them prepare you for the greatness that lies ahead. Remember this: setbacks are setups for comebacks. Every obstacle you encounter, every failure you endure, every disappointment you face is not the end of your story. It is the preparation for the next chapter, the setup for the triumph, the invitation to rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Rise from your setbacks. Claim your comeback. The best is yet to come, and it is waiting on the other side of the challenge. waiting for you to recognize that what seemed like a fall was really the first step in your greatest ascent. Pain is inevitable. Life is full of moments that test the soul, that shake the spirit, that leave us questioning our strength, our purpose, and even our worth. It comes in many forms: the loss of a loved one, the betrayal of a friend, the failure of a dream, the hardships that seem never-ending. Pain is real and pain is heavy. It presses down, it lingers, it whispers in the quiet moments. You cannot overcome this. But let me tell you something: pain is not the end of the story. Pain is not a sentence. Pain is not the final chapter. Pain is a teacher. Pain is a messenger. Pain is an invitation to discover the power that lives within you. And that power begins with your mindset. A resilient mindset transforms pain into purpose. It takes the very things that seek to break you and uses them as the building blocks to create something greater, something stronger, something lasting. You see, it is easy to let pain define us. It is easy to let it shape our thoughts, dictate our actions, and control our future. Many people do exactly that. They allow the weight of their suffering to harden their hearts, to shrink their vision, to cloud their judgment. But the resilient person sees differently. The resilient person understands that the circumstances themselves are not permanent, that the suffering is temporary, that the pain is a part of the journey, not the destination. When life inflicts pain, the resilient mind refuses to dwell on the hopelessness. It refuses to remain paralyzed by fear. Instead, it searches for meaning, for lessons, for purpose. It asks the question, what can I learn? How can I grow? How can this experience prepare me for something greater? And in that moment, the transformation begins. Transforming pain into purpose begins with perspective. It begins with understanding that the struggles you face are not random, that the challenges you endure are not meaningless, and that the difficulties you encounter are not designed to destroy you. Every hardship, every setback, every wound carries within it the potential for growth. Every tear that falls waters the seeds of resilience. Every moment of heartache is a step toward wisdom. Every disappointment is a push toward understanding. When we adopt a resilient mindset, we see beyond the immediate suffering to the opportunity that lies hidden within it. We begin to understand that pain is not punishment. It is preparation. It is shaping us, refining us, strengthening us for the purpose that awaits. Think about the people who have turned their suffering into something extraordinary. Think about those who have faced unimaginable challenges, yet emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined. Their pain did not define them, it refined them. They chose to see beyond the hurt, beyond the fear, beyond the setbacks, and they discovered a higher calling, a greater mission, a deeper purpose. They understood that the scars they carried were not signs of weakness, but evidence of strength. They realized that their struggles were not obstacles to stop them, but stepping stones to elevate them. And that is the power of a resilient mindset. It takes the raw, unrefined material of pain and shapes it into purpose. A resilient mindset also fuels action. Pain by itself can be paralyzing. It can leave us stuck in a cycle of grief, regret, or resentment. But when you develop resilience, pain becomes motivation. Pain becomes fuel. It becomes the energy that propels you forward. When the weight of life tries to hold you down, when you choose to see pain as purpose, you stop asking, Why me? And start asking, what now? How can I use this? How can I rise? That shift in perspective transforms your life. It turns despair into determination, suffering into strength, and trials into triumphs. The resilient mind does not sit idle in the shadow of pain. It rises, it moves, it creates, it transforms. Purpose is the ultimate destination of resilience. When you allow pain to shape you rather than break you, you discover a calling greater than yourself. You discover a mission that reaches beyond the personal hurt to impact others. Every moment of suffering carries the potential to equip you to help someone else. Every wound you endure gives you the insight to guide, the empathy to counsel, the courage to inspire. A resilient mindset transforms personal pain into a purpose that touches lives, changes communities, and leaves a legacy. Pain becomes not just a private struggle, but a public victory, a testimony, a beacon of hope for others who are walking through their own trials. And let me remind you, this transformation is not instantaneous. It does not happen the moment pain enters your life. It is a process, a journey, a discipline. It requires patience, reflection, faith, and courage. It demands that you face the hurt rather than run from it, that you wrestle with the questions rather than ignore them, that you choose growth over comfort, learning over bitterness, hope over despair. Each day you choose to see the pain differently. Each moment you decide to rise above it. Each action you take in spite of it strengthens the resilient mindset. Slowly, steadily, inevitably, pain is transformed into purpose, and your life becomes a testimony of triumph over adversity. The resilient mindset also changes the way we see the world. When we understand that pain has meaning, we stop looking for blame and start looking for lessons. We stop focusing on the suffering and start focusing on the solution. We stop being victims of circumstance and become architects of destiny. The challenges we face are no longer obstacles that hold us back. They are opportunities that propel us forward. The hurt we endure is no longer a weight that crushes us. It is a force that lifts us higher. The setbacks we experience are no longer failures. They are setups for purpose, for impact, for transformation. So, when life hurts, when the storm rages, when the world seems to conspire against you, remember this: a resilient mindset transforms pain into purpose. It refuses to be defeated. It refuses to dwell in despair. It refuses to allow suffering to dictate the story. Instead, it chooses to rise, to learn, to grow, to create, and to serve. It chooses to see the bigger picture, to understand the hidden lessons, to embrace the higher calling. And when you embrace this mindset, you discover that no matter how deep the pain, no matter how fierce the trial, no matter how heavy the burden, you are capable of turning it into something powerful, something meaningful, something eternal. Pain is inevitable, but purpose is a choice. Suffering is real, but so is your power to rise. When you cultivate a resilient mindset, you take the very things that seek to break you and transform them into the fuel that drives your destiny. You turn every wound into wisdom, every challenge into character, every struggle into strength. A resilient mindset does not just survive pain. It transforms it into purpose, into passion, into power, and into the legacy that only you can leave. There is a power in rising that goes far beyond personal victory. When you rise after a fall, when you stand tall after being knocked down, When you reclaim your strength after being tested, your journey becomes more than your own. It becomes a beacon for others. Rising stronger inspires others to rise with you. You see, your resilience is contagious. Your courage is magnetic. Your determination sends ripples through the lives of everyone around you. People are watching, even when you think they are not. They notice the way you refuse to quit, the way you face adversity head on, the way you stand firm when life tries to push you down. And when they see you rise, they are reminded of their own strength, their own potential, and their own ability to overcome. Your comeback becomes their motivation, your triumph becomes their hope, and your victory becomes a light that guides them through their own storms. Many times, we underestimate the influence of our actions. We think our struggles are private, our pain is hidden, and our victories are unnoticed. But every time you choose resilience, every time you push through despair, every time you reclaim your purpose, you are sending a powerful message to the world that it is possible to overcome, that it is possible to rise, that it is possible to triumph. Others see your courage and they feel it in their bones. They hear your perseverance in the rhythm of their own hearts. They find hope in your story when their own hope is fading. Rising stronger is not just about personal growth. It is about creating a legacy of inspiration, a chain reaction of resilience that lifts those around you. Think about the people who have inspired generations' leaders, visionaries, change makers. Do you think they rose alone? Absolutely not. Their strength inspired armies, communities, and movements. Their courage gave others the faith to believe. Their determination gave others the courage to act. And that is the truth. Your resilience has a multiplier effect. When you rise, you make it easier for someone else to rise. When you refuse to be defeated, you show others that defeat is optional. When you overcome your trials, you give others permission to confront their own. Your strength becomes a blueprint, a roadmap, a testimony that says, if I can rise, so can you. A rising stronger also creates accountability. When people witness your journey, they are motivated to hold themselves to a higher standard. Your actions challenge them to confront their own fears, to face their own struggles, and to refuse to settle for less than they are capable of achieving. Inspiration is not just words, it is action. And when you rise, your actions speak louder than any speech, louder than any encouragement, louder than any advice. People watch how you navigate hardship, how you embrace growth, and how you reclaim your power. They see the example, and it compels them to act, to rise, to transform their own lives. And let me tell you something else. Rising stronger is a statement of hope. Hope is contagious. Courage is contagious. Determination is contagious. When you rise, you plant seeds in the hearts of others. You remind them that no matter how deep the fall, no matter how dark the night, no matter how heavy the burden, it is possible to get up again. It is possible to reclaim strength. It is possible to embrace purpose. It is possible to step into victory. Your comeback becomes their encouragement. Your triumph becomes their inspiration. Your resilience becomes the spark that lights their own fire. But rising stronger is not just about being seen. It is about being present. It is about allowing your story to touch others, to give them courage, to give them faith, to give them hope. It is about mentoring, supporting, and uplifting those who are struggling. It is about showing by example that strength is built through trials, that perseverance is forged in hardship, and that true victory comes not from avoiding difficulty, but from confronting it with courage and faith. Your journey becomes a living testimony, a source of guidance, and a beacon of light for those who need it most. And here is the ultimate truth. No one rises in isolation. Life is interconnected. Your strength, your courage, your resilience, your ability to overcome does not exist in a vacuum. It has an impact, a reach, a power that touches lives you may never fully see. Every time you rise, someone else rises because of you. Every time you stand firm, someone else finds the strength to stand. Every time you refuse to give up, someone else discovers the courage to keep going. Your triumph is bigger than yourself. It is a gift, a blessing, a catalyst that ignites change in the lives of others. So, rise stronger, rise boldly. Rise with faith, with courage, with determination, and with purpose. And as you rise, remember that your journey is not only about your victory, it is about inspiring others to rise with you. Your strength has a ripple effect. Your comeback has the power to spark hope. Your resilience has the ability to ignite courage in the hearts of others. Stand tall, rise high, and let your life be a testimony that encourages everyone watching. No matter how hard life knocks you down, you can rise. And when you rise, you invite the world to rise with you. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me today. Resilience is not a luxury. It is not something reserved for a select few. It is not a trait we either have or we don't. Resilience is a choice, a commitment, a way of life. Life will knock you down, that is inevitable. Storms will come, setbacks will happen, pain will find you, but defeat is optional. Every fall, every disappointment, every challenge is an invitation to rise, to grow, to transform, to become stronger than you were before. You have heard it today, adversity is inevitable, but defeat is optional. Resilience grows when we face challenges head on. Setbacks are setups for comebacks. A resilient mindset transforms pain into purpose. And when you rise stronger, you inspire others to rise with you. This is not theory, this is life. This is power. This is the truth that changes everything. The trials you endure, the struggles you face, the storms that seem unbearable, they are not here to stop you. They are here to shape you. They are here to prepare you. They are here to reveal the greatness that has always lived inside of you. I want you to leave this place today, knowing something, the power to bounce back is already inside of you. The strength to rise is already in your spirit. The courage to face whatever comes your way has always been there. You just need to claim it, to activate it, to live it. When you choose to rise, when you choose resilience, when you choose to turn setbacks into comebacks, you not only change your life, you change the world around you. Your story becomes a testimony. Your triumph becomes a beacon. Your strength becomes the light that guides others through their darkest nights. So stand tall, face the storms, embrace the challenges, transform the pain into purpose. Rise stronger, not just for yourself, but for everyone who is watching, everyone who is waiting, everyone who needs to see that it is possible to overcome. Let your life be proof that no matter how hard life knocks you down, no matter how deep the fall, no matter how heavy the burden, you can rise again. And when you rise, rise with courage, rise with faith, rise with determination, and rise knowing that you are unstoppable. Remember this: storms may come, setbacks may test you, pain may challenge you, but your spirit is stronger than any obstacle. You were made to rise. You were made to endure. You were made to overcome. So rise, my friends. Rise and rise again. The world needs your resilience. Your story is not finished. Your comeback is waiting, and the power to be stronger, better, and unshakable is already in your hands. Rise, rise strong, rise now.